everyone, welcome back to the session of English. In this session, we'll continue with our chapter tenses. This is part 3. In part 1 and 2, we have already discussed present tense. In this part, we'll discuss past tense. So let's begin the session. So as we know well that past tense is again divided into 4 parts, that is simple past tense, or we call it past indefinite tense. Then we have past continuous tense, then we have past perfect tense, and then we have past perfect continuous tense. Simple past tense are also known as simply past tense or past indefinite tense. These are fundamental tenses, plays vital role in grammar. These tenses generally used to show some task that has already happened in the time of past, the actions that were taken place in past. Those actions are shown in past indefinite tense. Completed actions in the past, describing actions or events which were completed at a specific time in the past. She visited Kolkata last year. Now, as we can see, this last year, the time of past is mentioned over here. So, here we know the time of action. We know action and when did it take place. We know the time of action. Means whenever we have given the time of action or the time of action is known, it should be written in past indefinite tense, or you can say simple past tense. So she visited Kolkata. Now, if last year was not mentioned over here, it could have been written in a form like, it could be written in a form like, she has visited Kolkata. But just because this last year is mentioned over here, it should be formed in past indefinite tense only. Now, if some sequences of events or some actions that had taken place simultaneously, one after the other, which shows the routine, those actions should also be written in past indefinite tense. It can be used to detail sequences of events or actions that happened one after the other. For example, there is a routine about someone that he woke up, brushed his teeth, and left for work. So there are simultaneous actions that have taken place in the past. So it is also, the routine is also written in past indefinite tense. When we know some historical facts, some general past facts or historical events that have already taken place, they should also be written in past indefinite tense. For example, dinosaurs lived millions of years ago. We know well that dinosaurs are not living on Earth right now. They used to live on the Earth many years ago, billions of years ago. So it should be written in past indefinite tense. India got independence on 15th August 1947. So it was the time of past. So it should be written in past indefinite tense. The simple past tense is generally formed using the second form, that is past form of the verb. Now, here the structure of the sentence will be like subject plus verb second form. Now again we have three types of sentences. One is affirmative sentence. Then we have negative sentence. And then we have interrogative sentences. Now, in case of affirmative sentence, we can form the sentence like subject plus verb second form. That's it. Then in negative sentence, subject plus we use did, an auxiliary verb that is did over here. Now, did is followed by not and only first form of verb. Now, it should be kept in mind that whenever we have did in a sentence, the verb will be used in base form only because did is already the past of do. Now, to make it interrogative, did will come in the beginning of the sentence, then we have subject, then we have verb first form, then we have object, and then question mark. Now, there are several other verbs like when we have work, we can make past form of it like worked, but there are some forms like sing. The past form of sing is sang. The past form of drink is drank. Go is went. See is saw. Now, some verbs are like hurt. The second form of it will remain same, hurt, and the pronunciation also same. But some words are like read. Read is basic form. Now, spelling remains the same, but pronunciation changes over this. For example, read, read. So the second form of verb will be read. To negate the past simple, we use did not. I did not work. She did not work. Again, to make it interrogative, did comes first in the sentence, in the beginning of the sentence. For example, did you work yesterday? Did she go to the party? Now, I have already told you all these three structures. So, this is called past indefinite tense or simple past tense. So, all these sentences are of past indefinite tense. Even if the statement form uses an irregular verb, the question form will use did plus the base form of verb. It means the first form of verb. For example, she saw the movie becomes she see the movie. So any type of verb is there if it is in second form. In affirmative sentences, it should be in verb second form. But if did is used over there, it should be written in base form or first form only. Now, with time expressions of past, like last week, 1990, yesterday, once, when, etc. In these cases as well, it should be written in past indefinite tense. So, as I have already told you, that when action, time of action is known, is in past and it is known. So, it should be written in past indefinite tense or simple past tense. For example, I visited Rome in 2015. So, year time of action it was 2015. I know well. So, it should be written in past indefinite tense. She read the book last night. Now, as I told you, that the spelling of read remains same in past form as well, but pronunciation changes. So, she read the book last night. They came to the party yesterday. Now, yesterday shows the time of past. So, come, came, come. So, second form of come is came. So, the sentence will be they came to party. They came to the party yesterday. Now, we have another important tense, that is past continuous tense. Continuous, as I told you, it is always been ing form or the progressing form. Also, it will contain the verb be forms. Also known as past progressive tense, is a key tense in English grammar used to describe an ongoing action that was happening in the past. So these tenses used to describe actions which were actually going on or which were taking place in the past, which were in progress or in process in the time of past, which were happening in the past. Those types of actions are shown in past continuous tense. The past continuous tense is used to show ongoing action in the past. For example, to describe an action or situation that was ongoing at a specific point in the past. At 5 o'clock yesterday, it means I'm talking about 5 o'clock, that was yesterday. She was reading a book. It means this action was going on but in the past. I was talking with my friend when you came. So this part shows the time of past, and what actually was happening at that particular time can be shown through past continuous tense. To talk about two actions happening at the same time in the past. Now, they can be two actions parallelly going on in the past. While he was studying, his brother was watching TV. So there are two brothers. One was studying and one was watching TV. So it was also the time of past that two parallel actions can be shown using past continuous tense. Often used in storytelling to set a scene or indicate what was happening at the background when something else occurred. The rain was pouring when the car broke down. So the rain was pouring, it is actually the background which is being shown. So it happened when this was going on. So this is actually setting the background of the story or of the scene that has been shown in the story. I was reading a book when I saw the man. So I was reading a book. That was the pattern, that was the scenario that was going on, that was the work that was going on. So it can be shown in the past continuous tense. To emphasize a longer action that got interrupted by a shorter action. For example, I was taking a bath when the phone rang. So it happened when this was going on. So these two actions can also be written in past continuous tense. Now the structure is very simple. We have affirmative tense, we have negative sentence, and we have interrogative structure of the sentence. So affirmative can be formed like subject plus was and were plus first form of verb with ing, that is verb fourth form. This we call verb fourth form or base form of verb with ing plus object. Negative subject plus was or were plus not plus verb fourth form, that is ing form plus object. In interrogative part, it can be written like was or were, then subject, then verb fourth form, then object, and then interrogative mark. Now, here one thing should be kept in mind. We have was, which we use with I, he, she, it. It means with singular first person and third person singular. Were is used with we, you, or they. So only with plurals, and this is used only with singular. Now in all other cases, in present tense, in fact, we have used have with I, which we have also used with we. I have and we have. Whereas he, she, it has been used with singular verb, that is he has, she has, it has. But in this case, I will be considered singular, not plural. So I, he, she, it was listening to music. For example, I was listening to music, he was listening to music, she was listening to music. And you, we, they are treated plural. You were listening to music, we were listening to music, they were listening to music, and so on. Now, negative sentence, I was not listening to music. Was not can be used as slang or contraction form like wasn't. They were not listening to music, weren't, were not. Questions, was she listening to music? Were they listening to music? So these can be written like this also. Now with time expressions, The past continuous tense is often used with time expressions such as while, when, at this time yesterday, at that moment, all day. So these are some time expressions with which we should use past continuous tense only. He was working all day yesterday. While I was sleeping, the doorbell rang. So these are past continuous tenses. Now we have past perfect tense, another very, very important tense of past. Past perfect tenses are used to show those actions that had happened before some time in past or before some action that took place in past. It means suppose we have two actions that has been taken place, one and two, first action and second action. Now this action must have performed earlier to this action. Now both of these actions are completed, but first this action took place and then this action took place. So that the action which had taken place before this action should be written in past perfect tense, and the remaining should be in past indefinite tense or simple past tense. This manner. The past perfect tense is an important tense in English grammar employed to convey actions or states of being that occurred before another past action. The past perfect tense is used action before another past action to indicate that one action had already been completed before another took place. This is very, very important. She had visited the museum before she left the city. Both of these action has been taken place. But this is second action, whereas this is first action. So first action is shown in past perfect tense. It should be shown in past perfect tense. If I write, he learned how to drive a car even before he was 18 years old. Now look at this sentence. In this sentence, it is mentioned about some age. We know well that to drive, one should be of 18 years of age. Only then he is allowed to the run any four wheels vehicle, four-wheel vehicle on the road or any two-wheel vehicle. One should be of minimum 18 years old. But it might happen or happens that people drive the car or another vehicles even before they are not achieved 18 years of age. Now we are talking about a boy that he had learnt how to drive a car even before he was 18 years of age. It means he was less than 18 years old. Even then he know how to drive a car. So is in this case he has not achieved this age, but before that he had learnt how to drive a car. So it should not be written learnt. In fact, this should be replaced with had learnt. So whenever something happens before its time, it also be it should also be written in past perfect tense. Some abnormalities can also be there. So anything that has particular time of action but it happens before it, it can be written in past perfect tense. Condition with past unreal situations, often used with third type conditional sentences. Now in the structure of third type condition, we have if, then we have two clauses. So the clause that is immediately after if, it should be formed like subject plus had plus verb third form. And the remaining clause will be like subject plus would plus have plus verb third form. Now, if she had known about the party, so she had known this is past perfect tense, she would have come. So this is structure, remaining clauses like this, and first clause is like this. So in type 3 condition, past perfect tense is used. To show regret, to express regret about an action that didn't happen in the past. I wish I had brought my umbrella. So as we know well, whenever we use I wish, in case, as if, would be, so all these which only shows which only show imaginations or something which are wish, dreams, etc., or impossible conditions. There we use subject plus past plural verbs. Therefore, we have used had brought over here. With expressions such as by the time, until, after, when, before, and so on, we use past indefinite tense. Now, this one is very, very important. Now, with the phrase, with the expression by the time, we make sentences in two clauses, first clause and then second clause. The first clause should be just after clause of by the time. We should make it in past indefinite tense or simple past tense. That is subject plus verb second form. But the remaining clause should be in past perfect tense, which means subject plus had plus verb third form. For example, by the time we arrived, the film had started. So this is past perfect tense and this is past indefinite tense. Now always remember past makes combination with past and indefinite makes combination with perfect. What are these combinations? Let's discuss them later on. Now the structure for past perfect tenses subject plus had plus past participle of the verb. It means in affirmative sentences we have subject plus had plus verb third form plus object. In case of negative sentences, we write subject plus had not plus verb third form. Then in interrogative sentences, we have had plus subject plus verb third form plus question mark plus object and then question mark. Now she had finished her work. This is past perfect tense affirmative sentence. They had had dinner. Now we know well the structure is subject plus had plus verb third form of the main verb. Now here we have they as subject, had as helping verb, and then had, this had is main verb. So in this sentence we have used two had. One, the first had is representing helping verb and another had, that is the second had, is showing the main verb. Why so? Whenever we consume any meal, like whenever we have breakfast, we have lunch, we have dinner, we use have lunch, have dinner, have breakfast. So that have shows the main verb to consume these meals. And the third form of have is had. So we write had dinner, had breakfast, and so on. Negative, she had not finished her work. Interrogative, Had she finished her work? Had they had their dinner? So, in these cases, we can show past perfect tense. Time expressions like just, by the time, until, never, ever, before, we can use past perfect. He had never seen such a beautiful sunset. She had already met him before the event. So, when the action has been shown of past, it should be written in past perfect and past indefinite tense. So these all sentences show past perfect tenses. Now, past perfect tenses can also be used some different manners with some different conjunctions. Now, let us see one more part related to it. Suppose we have a conjunction that is before. Now, this one is very, very important. One sentence is before it and another is next to it. Now, two actions can be shown over here. One that was first action that happened earlier, then this that happened later on, but both have happened. Both the actions have been taken place. One is earlier to the second action. So this we call first action and this we call second action. We know very well that action that first taken place should be written in perfect tense. So perfect will be combined with indefinite, and past should form the combination with past tense only. Now always remember there are three types of combination. One is past with past. It means past is generally combined with past sentences only. Another is perfect. It is basically combined with simple or indefinite. Now, one more type of combination is future. It is combined with present tense. This structure will discuss later on. Now, your past is combined with past and perfect is combined with indefinite. So here the sentence will be subject plus had plus verb third form. Then we have word or conjunction before. Now before states something which is first. So before this we will write first action, that occurred first, and then we'll write the second action. After this we have past indefinite tense, that is plus subject plus verb second form. So the patient had died before the doctor came. The train had left before I reached the station. You must have heard these sentences earlier in your classes as well. These are very common sentences. So these type of structures also formed in present perfect tense. Well, that's all for today. Thank you very much. We'll discuss remaining part in next session. Thank you.